Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new video on the Salvage Peugeot 208 that has had a severe side swipe. In the last video you would have seen I managed to get a front door in colour for it, but a back one we have been struggling with. The nearest one I could find was in Scotland, and me and Chris both said by the time it got here in delivery it'd be destroyed. It goes through 3 or 4 different hubs, 3 or 4 different couriers, and there's just no way of wrapping them up when they don't turn up damaged. Panels have never been a great thing to get through the post or send out because they just don't come back how they should be. So I have actually bit the bullet and spoke to JR Car Spares down in Tunbridge, and that's where I got the black front door from. Well, I actually rung them back and asked if they'd had any more in. Unfortunately for us, they have. Unfortunately, it is white. So before we even touch this car, because it is sitting outside, it is raining, there's a nasty gap in the top there, there's a little bit of moisture inside, and we do want to get it sealed up. So I'm going to whip straight down to JR Car Spares, pick up that rear door, and we're going to come back and actually try and fit both of those doors on just to keep the weather out of it, and then we can see if the post is pushed in, and if it is, how far it's pushed in. We know that the seal's pushed in and we need to get it on the jig possibly to get that pulled out. So let's get down there and get that door. They said £100 on the phone, guys, but when I got there, see, it's got a little dent in it there, and it's actually got a little scrape in it there. So I did it for £80. It is complete. It's got the door panel on it, and it is the same as the other one if we need it, and it's got all the window in it. I don't know if, I think the window's blacked out on the other one, so we may have to swap those around, but apart from that, there's no tearing it apart and swapping motors. Well, it's not motor anyway, it's got keep fit windows, but got all the hinges with it and all of the electric. So let's go and get that fitted. Really, I mean, look at the state of that door. And this is the bit that's quite hard to believe. It doesn't look like there's any damage there at all. Obviously we've got the seal punched in now, and you can see it has just popped it up here where it's punched in there, it's pushed it up. But that back hole looks just like it should. Let's get that door tried on there. It's just 2 13s in there, 2 13s in there, 1 check strap, 40 torques, and the wiring. That is it. Let's chuck it on there and see if it fits. We are pleasantly surprised there and very, very happy. It fits perfect. There's no issues with it whatsoever. The hinges all line up, the check strap lines up. I've plugged it in, the gap all the way around the outside of it, perfect. I'm going to chuck the front door on as well because I can't actually shut that now because it touches that door. You can see there where that is really punched in, but I think we might have had a little bit of a light escape here. Let's get the front door fitted as well. Unbelievable, as soon as I start, it starts raining. I've had to quickly throw the time lapse in there. So I've knocked the pins out, left the hinges on, and I'm going to try and put the other one back on without the hinges, just obviously via the pins. It is a bit quicker, but it's not permanent. They've both got to come off again anyway to do this. So let's try and get it on there before it really starts tipping it down. I think we really had luck on our side with this one. Couldn't be happier. The B post is perfect. Look at that gap between those doors. It's exactly the same the other side. If you look here, the gap is slightly too big, and you can really notice it because it is black on white. And when you come back here, this gap where I've been moving it around has slightly closed up. So what I'll do, once we do fit these up, I'll get Chris to just hold that door a little bit forward while I nip it up, and that will be perfect. You would have seen in the time lapse there, I'll put the mirror on off the other door. I know that we've got to get painted down the side anyway, but I didn't want to let any more water get in there. It is all sealed now, so there's no reason for any water to get in there at all. But it's all working. Windows all working. I'm quite happy with that. In the end, I did only do one hinge. The bottom one I left on this door. It was too hard to get the pin out, and then the top one I tapped the pin out and pushed it through. So if you look at that little gap there, I've put 113 in. The other one's not in yet. It's here on the floor. You can't actually get the, I mean, the doors have got to come off again, so it's not important right now, but you can't actually get to it. You can just about see the hole there. You can't actually get to it. You have to take the wing off or try and maneuver it in there, pull the door this way and try and do it up. Very, very difficult. But we got one in there, and the top one has obviously got both the bolts in it still because I just took the pin out. What we'll probably do is knock the pin out when we take it back off, then put the other bolt back in, and I think that that would be ideal. But lovely. Let's move on. Just turned it around a little bit and started the engine, got it up to temperature, put the heater on, just try and dry out the little bit of moisture that is in there. But you can see where that door's been on there for that little while, it started fogging up inside. This was off of a flood damaged car. So we're going to take, I am going to start prepping this. I haven't put the check strap back on. I'm going to start prepping this door because we're going to need to have the inside of it painted anyway. I'm going to remove this door card, and we're going to need to change the speaker because, I mean, the water probably didn't come up this high, but it's certainly, that speaker's, if it's got damp, it's going to be no good. I'm starting to get a little bit of damp down there. So I've just left it running to dry, but most important than anything, we've got all this in here. It all needs cleaning up, and when we do start work on this seal, it is always nice when the car is clean, and as you can see, it's filthy. So we'll go ahead and probably do that as well. Let's get that door panel all stripped out. We've been very, very lucky with the front door panels. I've just compared them just to make sure, and as you can see, that door panel and that door panel are exactly the same. I've got the gloss black trims, and I've kept the old panel anyway. We've got that one there and that one there. So we've got everything we need. I haven't got to strip any more off of those other doors. We're not going to be using nothing from them. We'll just use this. Let's get that door stripped. I'm sitting there waffling away again. quickly, I love sharing little tips and tricks with all of you. And I know that you can get proper tools for this, but I've never ever had the tool and never actually needed it. Hopefully I can get in here and actually show you. I'm going to be quick, but these are on like a little clip, these window winders. And all I've ever done, just got a bit of rag, stuck it in there and get it hooked into the clip. I probably won't end up being able to do it now that I'm saying I'll do it quickly, but normally just chuck a bit of rag in there. There you go. Now, I dropped it on the floor there, I'll pick it up. All I was doing there, I'm sticking the rag in there. Let's stick that back on just to show what it does look like. Basically, you got that clip on there. And because it's got those two little hooks on it, I've got the cloth hooked in it and just pulled it off, and that pops it off. It doesn't cause any damage at all. And it is very, very quick to do it. I just thought I'd share that. It doesn't look like I am going to have to change that. There's no water has been in here, no way, and the speaker looks perfect, so that's pretty much it. I ain't got a lot to strip out. We're not going to take this rubber off right until we're ready to actually start flattening off the door, getting it ready for the paint shop, but that was the worst of it to get off, and that was just a few screws. So let's move on and actually get it cleaned up a little bit, because it's got quite a lot of marks around it, this car, and we do want to see how much of it does need painting. Don't worry guys, I won't forget, we are not a detailing channel. My washing car skills are not perfect, but they get the job done. I just wanted to go round where we're going to be taking this in, putting it on the jig. It is nice, get it all clean, because we've got to mount it up. Otherwise you're just working in muck all the time. Plus, obviously, we need to highlight any marks and dinks around it. So that was really the idea of just giving us an head start when we do take it in and start putting it on the jig. Some of the patches that are drying out already, you can see little marks here and here. I'm using the microphone on this little bit outside, so fingers crossed it comes out quite nice. There is a tiny little car part ding there in the bonnet. Well, it's obviously a stone, not a car part ding. And then down this side, we're going to be having the whole side painted. Just it's a nice late low mileage car, and it has all got a match. So we'll be having the wing, the door, the rear door into the quarter, and obviously all of that repair on the seal. But guys, drop it in the comments section down below. What do you think of that? That was brilliant that that B-post wasn't bent. And this, just going back to old, something that we've discussed before on the channel, about when I said I used to flip a bit of salvage. I'd buy things like this, chuck a door on it like that, and put it on eBay and have a lovely profit out of it. And I used to try and do it 2 or 3 times a month. So, I mean, it is a bit difficult for somebody to go and buy it and know that that B-post is not bent. I expected that it was bent. So, we've just really had a bit of luck with this one. I could actually chuck some tacks on that, because now we have got the V5, and use that car just as it is. There's no reason why I couldn't use it. There's no sharp edges, it all locks, it all works fine. So yeah, really, really happy with that so far, and I think that was a good little purchase. So guys, I've literally just noticed, you have to excuse me, I've got grease all over my face. I'm quite happy with this little car. I genuinely thought, yeah, worst way it's going to need a B-post, and me and Chris looked at the pictures. Chris was like, yeah, more than likely that's going to need a good pull there. but I think we got away pretty lightly with light panel damage. The next video we'll seriously be getting involved. I don't think we're going to be able to turn this one round this side of Christmas, but that's just purely due to the painter. Also guys, I've just watched this video back. I can only apologise about that small part that I've just done there with the microphone. It really wasn't brilliant, and it is an expensive recommended microphone by quite a few YouTube vloggers. So that's the microphone I ordered, but it's no good at all. So we'll concentrate on getting a decent one. I've been looking at those little wireless ones, and I think that's going to be the way forward for us. I'm sure there's loads of little bits and pieces that I've missed out of this video, but as usual, all of your questions and comments, drop them in the comment section down below, and of course I'll get back to you. That is going to be the end of today's video. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. We would like to wish everybody a happy Christmas and New Year. Like, subscribe and share, and we'll see you all very, very soon in the next one.